Here we see the filler neck for the coolant system. As you can see, it's actually cast into the head. The two blue plugs there are for sensors, and into one of them I will put a coolant sensor. On the cam cover I've got the coolant sensor. It's a VDO sensor, and I've got an adapter from the 3/8 BSP to 3/8 NSP. Okay, I've taken out the blanking plug, and here we're screwing in the sensor. And it does look like it's a 3/8 BSP thread. And we'll just tighten that down, and then we can attach the sensor wire to that. Okay, here we see that the sensor is now connected to the sensor wire, and we'll just see inside the instruments to see whether we've got any temperature gauge. One of the issues I've been facing is just chasing down coolant leaks. It seems that the gasket between the head and the header where the cap is on isn't sealing very well. There's a paper gasket in there, and I didn't want to over tighten it and strip the threads. So what I'll do now, I'll dry it out and put some RTV in there. I believe that will do the trick. Okay, I have the RTV on there. Now I'll reassemble, and we'll test the car in a day or so once the RTV has set. There we go. All fixed now, hopefully. We'll see. Okay, it looks like we've got a coolant leak. There's a little plug up there that isn't sealed properly. It is a plug that should be able to be sealed, so I just put some Teflon tape around it and try. Okay, somehow I have to mount the coolant overflow bottle. As you can see here, we've got the hose. And what I'm thinking of, I'll put it down in here underneath the oil lines. The reason being is that on this side we have a new coolant hose going to the engine, which typically isn't there. So what we'll do, we'll put the coolant bottle in here. Just bring that up in there, like that. We'll mount it in there. I think that's a reasonable place for it. It's tidy, it's out of the airflow, and the hose fits. Okay, here's the coolant bottle now mounted in the front. You can see that it fits quite nicely in the nose, and it's relatively accessible should I need to refill the coolant, and the hose then goes to the cap there. It's slightly lower, which is ideal, I'm happy with where it's mounted. Okay, what we're doing now is filling up the gearbox. So I've got some Motul MT90 and I'm filling up the gearbox. There we go. Here we have the rear diff, and we need to fill this up as well. So let's get an Allen-key in the filler hole, which is a bit hard to do while holding a camera. Okay. Now it's time to bleed the brakes. The first attempt at this, I found a leak that required that I buy a new coupling here. I've done that. I'm now about to pressurize the system and see whether it actually holds any pressure and whether fluid will start to leak out again. So I'm pumping up the power booster. You can see that I'm getting some pressure in there. Let's keep keep it about half a bar, and then we'll just check to see if there are any leaks. Okay, let's go up here. It was leaking out of here previously. That looks dry now. And let's have a look here. That looks fine. It looks like we have got a tight system.